Welcome to SQL tutorial series video. I'm happy to have you join me on this journey to master SQL and become a true data analyst expert. My name is Abdulkadir Salami. I know that diving into SQL can sometimes feel like learning a new language, but fear not, I've got a practical project ready for you in this video. We are going to cover some of the essential SQL commands that will serve as the building block for your SQL journey. Let's get started. Let's talk about the introduction to SQL. What is SQL? SQL means Structured Query Language. It's a programming language used to interact with database. SQL is used to perform CRUD operations. CRUD is an acronym for Create, Read, Update, and Delete. What is database? Database is a system that allows users to store and organize data. A software application used to manage our database is called Database Management System. There are two types of database. We have Relational Database Management System, which store data in table, and we have non-relational database management system, which doesn't store data in table. We use SQL to work with relational database management system. Types of SQL commands. We have DDL, known as Data Definition Language. We use in creating, alter, rename, truncate, and drop data. We have DML, known as Data Manipulation Language. We use in selecting, insert, update, and delete data. We have DCL, known as Data Control Language. We use in grant and revoke permission to user. We have DQL, known as Data Query Language. We use in select. We have TCL, known as Transaction Control Language. We use to start transaction, commit, and rollback. SQL data type. These are used to define the type of value that can be stored in a column. Most of the commonly used data type in SQL, they are called int. We use int for integer value. We have float. We use to specify a decimal point number. We have bool. We use to specify Boolean value true and false. We have char. We use for fixed length string that can be contain numbers, letters, and special characters. We have voucher, used for variable length string that can contain numbers, letters, and special characters. We have dates for date formatting. We have date time for date and time combination. In this video, we are going to create a classroom data set for practice. Let's go. Welcome to the practical part. Right now we are going to create a classroom data set for practice. So here we are. This is MySQL. In this SQL we are going to, this is the interface. This is how it looks. So right now we are going to create a table. But before we go ahead and create a table, first we need to create a database. So I said earlier, a database is a system that allows users to store and organize data. So let me give an example. A database is like what we have in Excel, like a workbook, okay? And a workbook consists of multiple worksheets. And the worksheet in SQL is our table. The workbook is our database. So a database practically is more or less like a container, a folder, so where we keep our information. So right now, let's create a database. The syntax is create database, and let me give it a name. Let me give it record, so you can execute if you are using Windows with Control Enter. So right now we have created our database. So now we have to instruct MySQL to use our record as default. Okay, so we have to type use space, give it a space, and you type record. So what it does is that MySQL will use record as the default schema. Okay, so when you are done with that, the next thing now is to create a table. So to create a table, let's use classroom as the name. Now to create a table, now we have to apply the syntax, the code. So which is create table space classroom, and then open bracket. I like making my code look very clean. So enter, then student ID, and student ID is an int. Our data type is int, so is a number, is a value, is a number. So, and remember I said int is a whole number, is not a decimal number. So, and then I'm giving it int, and then I'm making it a primary key. A primary key is a unique column we set in a table to easily identify and locate data in queries. So my student ID is a primary key. So, and then I'm creating another column known as name, voucher. So I'm giving it 50, that's the length. And then I'm creating another one called grade. So all these are columns which will contain information. So now when I'm done, I have to close the bracket and then put the semicolon in it, and then let's execute it. So now we have our table. So now to check the details in the table, we use describe, meaning describe table. What describe does, it shows us all the property, all the details, the columns, the data type we use. So we have to type describe table. That will show us all the information. Now we have created our table, so it's time to add information into the table. Now to do that, we have to use insert. We have to type insert into classroom. Insert into classroom. Then we create an open bracket, and then we insert all the columns that we created in the table. Student ID, comma, we give it a name, comma, then we give it a grade. Then we close the bracket. Now we enter and we create values. What are the values we want to insert into all this column? So we have, we open the bracket, student ID, which means identification. So 1, okay, then name, I'm giving it Smith, then grade, I'm giving it A. And then I have to do this very fast. So let me type it till we get to the 5th one. So now we are done creating our table. To access the information in our table, we use select statements. We will dive deep into this in our next video. So now, the select statement is used to select data from a database. So to do that, we type select asterisk from classroom. The asterisk symbolizes all, meaning select all from classroom. Control Enter. Now this will show us our information in the table. Now as you can see, these are the information. So in the next video, we'll talk more about select statement. So for now, this is it. So that's it. You can go ahead and practice this. Please kindly subscribe, like, and share for more videos. Thank you.